Hello Flosstube friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are a new viewer. I am so glad to have you here. My name is Sen and this is my little place on the YouTubes for everything cross-stitch and sometimes other things when I occasionally make project bags or crochet, but mainly cross-stitch, like 98%. So if that's what you're into, welcome, and I hope you enjoy spending a bit of time with me, as I always enjoy spending my recording time here with you and show you what I've been up to over the past few weeks. I have been recording, and if I look over to the side, I have my notes there. I've been recording my end of the year whip parade at the end of December, so it has been about 3 or 4 weeks since I last filmed. I was thinking about waiting to the end of January, but I'll be quite busy over the week, so it was more like I either do it today or sometime next week. So today sounded fine enough. I'm also still figuring out the lighting situation, so I hope this works well enough. I've put all the lights on that I have around me, so let's see how this goes. Yeah, so I have a few things to show you. I only worked on a few of my whips, so my plan from the end of the year to touch all of my whips this year has already fallen off, I think. I mean, I still have a lot, like, we have 11 months left, so, but I also have over 80 whips. If you watch my whip parade, you know. So yeah, that might not be a thing this year. However, I worked on a few and I also have something else to talk about after I show you the progress on my whips. I have a lot of finishes already and I will also show you them, but let's start with the whips first. As usual, I will put a picture of where they were when you last saw them, which was in my whip parade, over here. And I will also add a picture of what it will look like finished, or show a picture, because at this point I have most of them printed out. So let's start with that, shall we? So the first one I worked on is this. It's a Disintegration, artwork by Stephanie Pumin-Law. I hope I'm not butchering that. Charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And let's see where we are at with it. So, not that far from where it was last time, but for a full coverage, we know these take ages, right? So, this is where I'm currently at. Starting in the top corner. Let's see. Yeah, I think that works well enough with the lighting. So this is where it's at. Again, I'm gonna put a picture of where it was before so you can see how much I've done. Next one I pulled out that I haven't been working on in a while. And excuse me, this always takes a bit to get them out of their baggies. Is this one. It's by 2x2 Stitch Art on Etsy. And I think this is just called Monochrome Sampler 1 or something like that. Let's see if I wrote that down. No, I don't know. Most of them are just called Monochrome Sampler something. Since I'm trying to take better notes, Disintegration is stitched on a 28 count Ida. This one is on a linen. I think it's also 28 count-ish, I don't know. I got this from our local needlework store way back when I started this 2 years ago. And this is where it's currently at. I am using one of the multicolored DMC flosses for this. So I'm kind of inverting what it looks here. I'm stitching it on a very light green linen with so not with white on dark. And this is this is the floss I'm using. It is the 4045. Many green colors. This is one of the few multicolored DMCs that I actually like. I'll put this one out, I can see it better. Because most of them, as I said in one of my previous videos, they have white in it. And for me that throws off the color variation quite a lot. So I like them more when they only have, when they're really monochrome, like only have one color, but many shades of one color. I mean, this one has a little bit of white in it. No, a little bit of yellow in it as well. So that, but that works along with the green. Next one I worked on, and yeah, I started that in 2022, and I think I also started this decoration in 2022. Yeah, so these are some of my older whips. Then next one I worked on is this one. That's called Light 1, and it is by Light Unicorn Designs. They are on Etsy, although I got this pattern of theirs from a different website where they also have their patterns. Let's see. This one is a start from last year, so it's not that old. And I am stitching this on this printed Ada, which I think is a 20 count. And oops, that's not how it goes. This is where I'm at with it. Not very far either, but you can already see shapes forming. And I've worked on it for 2 or 3 days, so it's a bit further than, quite a bit further than what you saw in my whip parade. And I do like this pattern, and I'm still very curious of how it will look coming along. But then again, I have many whips that I like and that I want to give some love. Okay, what do we have next? On the same kind of printed Ada, we have, and there I will have to edit in a picture because I have not printed it yet, my still very measly start on the Treasure Island Cell by Old Forest Embroidery. What I did since last time is I finished the Treasure Island, the island writing over here and a bit of the border around it. And I started on the sun over here. So not that much. I think I put a few hundred stitches in this. Sometimes a few hundred stitches look like a lot, and sometimes they don't look like much at all. So next up, one of my favorites that I really, and yeah, this was a stitch along from last year, so it's also started last year. It is a free pattern. You can get it on the Old Forest Embroidery website if you so choose. So next one of my favorites. This is also Heaven and Earth Designs, and I cannot spell the name of the chart, so I'm not going to try. This was also a 2023 start for me, early 2023 though, and I'm not that far with it. Let me show. This is where it's at. And I have done a bit more of the sky here. So I'm planning on finishing the sky first and then continue with the rest, although I would love to stitch the dragon. But I know if I go ahead and work on the dragon, then yeah, that might not be the smartest idea, because then I only leave myself the more boring parts. Maybe you know how it is if you stitch these massive things. I have come to find that I also like smalls a lot, more than I thought. And you will see that in a bit, but I also still love my full coverages. So I think for me it's best to go with a good mix of both, like some full coverage and some smaller things. And yeah, this is also a 28 count Ada. And the, no, not the last one, but the next to last that I worked on is also one of my biggest whips. And it is this one. It's by Chameleon Designs XS. They have a website, but they are also on Etsy. I got this from Etsy. And this is massive. This is 715 by 800 stitches. So it has a total of, let me see, get my notes real quick, because I am prepared as always, as you can see. Preparation is not my strong suit. So when did I start? Was it 2022? No, it was it was 2022. So, because now that I have notes, I might as well just use them in my Flosstube. It has a total of 309,101 stitches. And I'm currently 1.65% done with it, which is not much. And that's what most of my full coverages look like, and which is also why I wanted to work on them more. Oh, the needle is saying bye-bye. There. This is where it is at currently. And I have made my way down all the way to the bottom of the chart, which is here. And with the way the pattern looks, like how you have this border around it, and then the gold, as you can see in the picture here. Let me hold it up again. I had been thinking about just stitching like the whole border of it first, like going down and then around. So this is the full height, and then it goes all the way like. Can't see my hand, sorry. Although this is probably this big. And stitch around the border so we can see the size of it. And then do the innermost part. But this is so beautiful. There are a lot of colors in this border. This has a total of 81 colors, despite just being like blues and gold. But let me hold it a bit closer so you can see this is when you get close enough. And I also love the coverage on this 28 count. This is one of my favorite, or probably the favorite for full coverages for me. But yeah, this is where this one's at. And once it is finished, eventually, it's gonna be I need to put the needle somewhere else. Oh, I can't probably fold it. This is gonna be a present for my roommate, for my best friend, because his room is decorated all in dark blues and golds, and this will look perfect on that wall. So if it ever gets finished, maybe when we manage to move somewhere to a better flat, it might also go up in our living room or something like that. We'll see. But for now, this is where it's at a measly 1.65%. So, next one is also an older start. Let's see. From 2022. So at least I have tried to work on some of my older whips to get them a little bit of love, because a lot of them I haven't even touched last year, which is quite sad. Next one is this. This is one that I originally charted myself from licensed artwork when I was still charting licensed artwork and selling patterns from that in my shop, which I am no longer doing. I'll get to that in a moment. But this is where that one's at. And I am going and using probably gonna use the Royal Rose for this, like go over all the way in the length of the pattern, like this way for the first 2 blocks and then going down. But knowing me, I might change my mind and go do it another way. But this has a lot of confetti. Back when I did that in 2022, I didn't really know what I was doing, and but then again, the way this artwork is drawn, there are a lot of different greens and yellows in there. So, and I love the detail. That's also a thing. This one is also stitched on, I think, a 20 count. Again, I don't know the fabric count of most of these because I do get leftover fabrics a lot, and they do not come with fabric counts. So it's just like, yeah, I can assume what size they are, but I do not know. This one I started in late 2022 in August, and it has a total of 61,512, and I am at 3.13%. I would have thought. You don't even want to know the sad percentages on the other ones that I worked on, but I mean, I can look them up. I do not have a stitch count for the Treasure Island cell because that is in many parts, and they do not provide a PDF that has everything in one PDF. I mean, it is all in one PDF, but it's still multiple parts. So if I were to put that in Markup XP, or if you put it in Pattern Keeper, if you use Pattern Keeper, then it would still not be able to count the total amount of stitches because a lot of the parts are doubled. And so I try to manually count that per hand. And I have counted the amount of stitches I did this month on it, which is 138, but I don't know the total amount of stitches, so I don't have a percentage. The dragon pattern is currently also 3.98% done. The light pattern is also 3.26% done. And which one did I forget? Yeah, the other one I didn't put in my my nice little chart yet. So I'm working on it. So you can see my notes are getting better than they used to be last year. So maybe next time I can do this properly. But enough of the whips, because this has been pretty much all of the whips that I worked on so far this month. And this is editing Sen, totally realizing I forgot one, which is the first whip of this year that I also worked in 2023, shortly after my whip parade, and looking back at my whip parade to get screenshots from where everything was before, I just saw, oh wait, I did work on one more project, which is this one. It's one of my absolute favorites that I need to put a lot more work in this year. The Lavender and Lace Celtic Autumn, or is it Celtic Autumn? Also, I did a full color conversion on this one, and this is, and I did her face, which was not done last time. Let me just put this together so that I can probably show you. This is where she's at with the. Now she has a face, and this is what I was quite scared of doing, actually. But I do think that it turned out quite well. Though the light makes the shadows look a bit harsher than they usually would. But it's a lighting situation here, isn't it? I think she's beautiful. And I do need to continue working on her, which I will definitely do. But yeah, I can't believe I forgot about her. And this is also where she was in my whip parade. and I'm stitching her on this beautiful hand-dyed linen from Leonora Crafts on Etsy. It's a German shop, so, and I think it does pick up quite well despite my lighting issues. So yeah, that's definitely gonna be a bit of a focus if I manage this year. But yeah, with that, that's definitely all of my whips. Now back to regularly scheduled program. But it's not all of the projects I worked on. I actually have a total of 4 finishes, and 3 of which are new starts. And the thing about these is that I have started to put more love into charting patterns myself again, after I stopped for a while last year with this whole discussion where I was for a time also charting licensed artwork, some of which was AI generated, and I don't want to get back into this whole shebang of why that is not a good thing and all that, and everybody really needs to decide for themselves if they want to stitch or chart AI images or whatnot. I do not. I am an artist myself. I do not condone the way these image generators were made, so I don't want anything to do with it. But I do chart my own artwork, and if you want to give it a look, and I will show more of it over my next few Flosstube videos, the link to my shop is down below. So I have full coverages that are charted from my own artworks and from photographs I took. And I also have a lot of smaller patterns, and I'm making a lot of smaller patterns currently. So that's what I have been up to this month, and I will show you a few of them. This is an older one that I made early last year. I just finished doing the model stitch for it. As I say, this is the size that some of them are. They are nice and small and quick. These are more like quick stitches, right? You can probably finish this in a few days. But this is in that regard, this is a whip from last year that I finished very early January, and then I started designing new ones. First one I did is this one. This is a little boba frog. As you can see, he's very happy with this boba tea, and I made it to look a bit like a stamp. These are very small, and they only have a few colors. And there will be more of these. For now, I have 2. This is the first one. And this is the second one. You can get both in my Etsy shop. Again, I'm putting the link down below. So if they are something that you like and you would want to pick up, then you can do that. I like them very much. I think they are super cute. I have 2 more of these done. They are currently being model stitched by my dear friend Dobby from Covered in Floss. So you might see one of them very soon. We'll see. And then I did another one. This one I finished last week, and this has just come up in my shop yesterday, which is this one. It's a Valentine's pattern, you can see, with dragons, because we know I love my dragons. It was about time that I did a pattern with dragons myself, and this is certainly not going to be the last one. This is a bit bigger than the frogs. This is about 2,600 stitches-ish. Let me check. 2,812 in total, but it only has 7 colors, including like the tiny bit of white that's here in the eyes and in the heart over here. So you can easily change the colors of these yourself if like the pink and purple is not your thing. Every each of the 2 dragons only has 3 colors. And yeah, this is also up in my Etsy shop for Valentine's and the Chinese New Year of the dragon coming up in February. I think this is perfect for that. And I'm just gonna find a frame and then I'm gonna hang it up. Probably in either in the hallway or in the kitchen, we will see. But yes, this is my 3 new patterns that I made this month. And I am totally planning on doing more over the coming months. So if smalls is something you like, or full coverages, because I will also get back to those. And you can check out my shop or follow me on Instagram at... yeah, I have 2 Instagrams. So if you follow me there, I have my own personal Instagram where I just put updates for my stitching, and I will probably also put updates of the model stitching there. I don't necessarily need to wait until the pattern is done to show it. That is Sen.Stitches, and my shop Instagram where you can see whenever something new is released as SensNeedleworks, same name as I have here on YouTube. And I would love if you find something that you like. Let me know, and also put in the comments below what you think about my patterns. I would love to hear your opinion on them. And you can always like, oh, look, we have a little guest here. This is one of my 2 boys. This is Seto. You want to say hi, baby? Say hi. Say hi to the nice people on Flosstube. There he is. He looks like a kitten, but he is almost 12 years old. His birthday is in March. So, now where was I? Got distracted by cats, as we do. But yeah, put down in the comments what you think about the patterns, and also anything else you saw in the video. I do love to chat in the comments. And yeah, I think that's about it for now. If you have any suggestions, anything you would like to see me make, then you're very welcome to put that in the comments as well, or send me a message on Etsy or Instagram. I usually check them every day. If I don't get back to you that quickly on Instagram, that's just because sometimes messages get hidden, and yeah, that's I'm not the best at it, but I try my best to just be there and answer quickly. So yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for spending your time with me. I hope you enjoyed watching and got some stitching done, or whatever else you were doing while watching. I usually watch Flosstube while stitching. So, but I'm starting to ramble now, so I'm gonna hop off and get some work done. It's Monday morning, so I also need to go grocery shopping. And at least the cold is gone. It's weather's getting nicer. But yeah, I hope the new year's been treating you well and will continue to treat you well, and I will see you around next time. Bye bye.